Hey guys, this is going to be a tutorial on the best way to go throughout the tech tree. It's going to take a while because there's a lot of stuff to cover, but it's very necessary, and this is purely off of my opinion. This is what I think is best. It's what me and my clan have done with like 100 plus people, so I mean I'm pretty much just going off like what 100 people's collective idea of the best way to go throughout this game is. This is already going off the dinghy. Like, I'm gonna start off from the dinghy and having that tutorial built. So the first thing I'd learn is what's it called, the ballista, and getting the harpoons, because you can farm up tons of fragments with the ballista and the harpoons. You'll see an info card on the top right. I have a video on how to farm actually lots of fragments. Click on that if you're interested. But keep in mind, a lot of this is personal preference, so this is just exactly what I would do. But yeah, the first thing I would probably do is definitely get the ballista turret and get the harpoons. I wish I knew this earlier so I can farm loads more fragments faster, and it's just definitely a lot easier to learn all of this. The next thing I'd probably do is start working your way down into the crafting and the equipment tree. Definitely come down here, get the wood working station, get the wood shafts, get the fiber working station, the fiber weaves, the advanced fiber working station, the nomad cloth, the stomping machine. That's super good. Getting bone glue. Oh, by the way, before you get the nomad cloth, I would highly recommend getting bone glue and getting purified water. Purified water is necessary, because it actually takes bone glue to make nomad cloth. In like the medium zones, you can make them with cotton and earth wax, but in the medium zones you probably don't have those. Or like when you're first starting out, you probably don't have that many earth wax or cotton. You can go to the hard zones. It's not really that hard. But if you want to farm up bunches of earth wax, you can take a soil excavator, find a black spot in the ground, or like find black dirt, I guess you could say, and all you do is just put like torque and water in it, and you're gonna make tons of earth wax. So that's definitely a good one to learn if you're gonna be making earth wax. The next thing I would do is probably work down the crafting tree. The equipment tree. I'd simultaneously work on these two, because these are probably like two of the most important trees in the game. Like, they're all important, but working on these two first is kind of essential. So definitely 100% get your tools done, right? Like, get the sickle, the pickaxe, get the scythe. The scythe, I cannot stress how important the scythe is. The scythe is super good. If you do not have this learn it. It's amazing. You get like double the triple resources that you get from sickles. You can harvest tons of rupu vines, tons of cattails. Like, it's just tons of fiber. Like, it's just so much better. The hand axes, they make good-ish weapons. No, they're terrible weapons, if I'm being all honest with you. The normal hand axe is good. The heavy one, it's really not that good. Reason why E might be like, this one has more damage, but this one has a lot more speed. This one has 40 more speed than the normal hand axe. So I'd probably get the raw bone hand axe as your weapons if you're going for weapons. But get the heavy raw bone hand axe so you can farm bone splinters, right? And only use this for bone splinters, right? Because both these harvest way more bone splinters than this guy, right? The woodcutter's hatchet. Way more, like almost double. So definitely get these for bone splinters, because it's going to help you make more bone glue, which will help you make more armor and help you make more weapons, and it'll help you make nomad cloth. So it's just all around like super important that you get these axes. Like, this is what you're going to be using for like most of your early game, mid game tools, and so you can start working into the advanced hatchets and the pickaxes. Definitely go for these first. As for weapons, I'd probably get the improvised bottle first, that way you can store tons of water. This holds 20 water, it's super good. I think it's pretty cheap. I would definitely get this. And I'd probably get the sawtooth sword. The sawtooth sword and the long bone spike sword are pretty good. They're really good. It's what a lot of people use in the fights that we get into. I don't really see too many clans like running these weapons. I never see clans running these weapons. The only weapons I'll see is the raw bone maul. So if you're gonna go and be like a little bit different, they'll go get the maul. As you can see, 56 damage, 120 speed. It's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I would either get the maul or come down here and get the swords. It's your choice, personal preference, totally. The next thing I'd start working on is getting yourself the Toledo Walker. and building that up. And once I don't even know what it is, right here, learn the Sleeto Walker, learn the upgrades for it, upgrade it up as much as possible. Once you get it upgraded, highly recommend that you come down here and get these repeaters. Making these repeaters allows you to actually have some sort of defense against other clans and wreck them. And I'd definitely get a remote ballista too, so that way the driver can shoot. These are actually pretty good. And learn firebolts. Firebolts are used for raiding, like completely, like, yeah, this is what everybody uses for raiding currently in the game. I've never really seen anybody raid with anything else yet, and keep in mind I've ran into like 100-man zergs, so that have wiped us, and we're like 130-man zerg, but we only have like 20 to 40 people active all the time. And this is what we use to raid, so yeah, they're really good. I would also probably go for an ammo chest because it's pretty important. Yes. You can hold lots more ammo, and then I'd start working up your chest. I'd probably learn the small chest way earlier on, and then I'd get the medium chest now. And so once you get your Sleeto Walker like all built up and it starts getting a little crowded, come down here, start working your way towards a base, and work to the medium wood walls, right? Once you get your crafting tree like pretty much to the point where I have it now, and your equipment tree to the point where I have it now, definitely come down here and get these medium wood walls, right? Learn these because these are kind of hard to raid. They take wooden arrows. Don't build them out of the stick walls, light wood. Don't build a light wood base. Build a medium wood base, because after they use all those flame bolts, you're gonna have to use a few more flame bolts to get into your actual base's loot. And I'd highly recommend taking the stuff off your Sleeto and dropping it into a base like that, so way people have a harder time raiding you and getting your stuff, and it's gonna cost them more. So yeah, that's probably exactly what I would do. And then for the fragment part, and then I'd come down here and learn fragments. What do you need? Fragments, like, you learn fragments when you're getting ready to transition into tablets, and when you're transitioning into tablets, farm up tons of fragments, right? Like pretty much triple what you've already learned, just so you can learn a few things, right? And so now we're gonna get into the tablet phase for the learning tree or the knowledge tree. And if the first thing I'd probably learn with the tablets is the proxy walker. The proxy walker is, where is it at? It's right here. It's super good. Like, dude, you get tons of resources with this, but if you're learning the proxy walker, then you have to be like a fat clan, pretty well established, and I would hopefully hope that you have like over 30 people, like at least, because this is pretty much a target and a bounty, and a lot of people are to come and try to wipe you because they know you're kind of built up, and you're built up enough to have the proxy walker. And if you think your clan's strong, trust me, it is. There's some huge zergs that will lock down Oasis just with the amount of people that they have, right? So after you get the proxy walker learned, or if you don't want to learn the proxy walker because your clan's too small, I'll just keep running Sleetos for a little while if your clan's that small. And I'd probably come down into the equipment tree, learn yourself the higher tier weapons, or higher tier tools like the advanced pickaxe and the advanced hatchet. The scythe pretty much is the advanced sickle, so it acts like this, and like, let me tell you something, dude, these things are ridiculously good. So yeah, these are the two things I'd probably get first, and if you want to, you can go get a sling blade, but I wouldn't recommend it until you get a few other things. The sling blades are super good. Alright, so making your way, once you get those tools learned, and if you want to learn the sling blade, you can. Highly recommend getting the furnace. The advanced furnace, because the advanced furnace, what this is going to do, this is going to allow you to turn all those shatter fragments from the tablets back into normal fragments to craft into tablets, and like super easily, because you can turn sand into glass in the advanced furnace, and you pretty much replace all the shatter fragments back into normal fragments, and it's gonna be super sweet. So if you don't know how to make tablets, I actually have a guide on it at that as well too. Click in the top right for the info card if you want to learn how to make tablets. So yeah, definitely check that out if you don't know how to make tablets. And if you don't know what tablets are, the little yellow things that I'm talking about with like the shattered glass. And there's a whole 6-minute guide on explaining that. So once you learn the advanced furnace, I would come down here, learn liquid fuel for the furnace, and yeah, then you're pretty much set. You're gonna farm tablets like ridiculous amounts. You just get those soil excavators done and start making as many tablets as humanly possible, right? And then once you get those tablets done, it's pretty much all personal preference again after that. But if it were me, I would definitely come back, and if you haven't learned the Sing Blade, I would go get the Sing Blade and start making as many of those as physically possible. Come back down in here, start learning the crafting stations, and if you want a bigger walker, you can come get a bigger walker. If you're gonna get a bigger walker, I'd definitely get the Falco, or I'd get the Buffalo Walker. Those seem to be the two like best reasonably priced walkers in the game. And so once you get those bigger walkers, come down here, learn these stations, and then I would come back into the walker tree and learn the upgrades for the walkers, right? Getting the armored walker legs is ridiculously good. Like, this makes it to where shooting people's legs out is extremely hard. It's extremely hard. So as you can see, this has 9,000. I think the normal legs on this guy have 6,000. No, 9,000, and then you can armor it up to 12,000. So those are super useful, and that's pretty much a whole few thousand more rounds. So not thousand more rounds, but a few thousand more HP that you have to fend off from the. And I also learned the Flacco, and I'd also learn the upgrades for your ship. So that's pretty good. And if you want to harvest tons of wood, you can come down here and get these saw blades. The saw blades will actually like destroy the trees and like cut them down. So if you're having a hard time navigating through the through the oasis, this is kind of more of like a thing, I guess you could say. I forgot the word I was looking for there. But there's another thing that's super important that you need to learn, and that's the hose. It's in the construction tree, and you might be, why don't you learn a hose? Well, because you know those lava pits in the hard maps, that's how you get obsidian, is you hose the lava pits, and you can take, and it'll cool down the lava, and you can harvest that with a pickaxe and get obsidian. And if you're looking for iron, I would come up here and get a quarry, because the quarry is actually how you get iron. Is you can see it harvests mines. It doesn't harvest, it mines stone, iron, and other minerals within a certain radius. So these things are super useful, and I would highly recommend getting these and start building them as many as you can. Right? So as soon as you get the advanced furnace down, get as many soil excavators as you can for sand, and start cranking out as many tablets as possible. And get the quarry down so you can get iron. And then the next thing I'd probably go do is, once you get the quarries down, is get clay. And once you get the clay down, the reason for getting the clay is so you can make clay bases. And clay bases, let me tell you something, these things are sick, bro. Like, these are good. They are kind of a pain to make because of the clay, but they're super good. Like super good. And clay is pretty easy to get, honestly. You just take a soil excavator and you come to clay spots and you put clay in there with torque. Pretty simple. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. The rest of it's like completely personal preference on what you get. Probably go into the heavy backpack, like I'm sure that's gonna be super useful later on. But it does take warm silk, and warm silk is really hard to get. So I don't know. The rest of it's personal preference on what you want. So pretty much I'm not that well advanced into the game to get what you want. And if you're looking for armor sets, the carapace armor, or carapace armor, if that's how you say it, correct me if I'm wrong, is definitely the way to go. If you guys enjoyed that video, please leave a like. That's pretty much what I would do first. That's all personal opinion. I really didn't need to make it this long. It's just there's a lot of stuff to cover. What I would get from my experience in this game. I also thought the video was pretty boring. Kind of the tablet part is kind of chasing it, but I think that's what hopefully you did enjoy it, and hopefully I got the point across. For the advanced part, I haven't really learned anything from the advanced part yet. If you're wondering why, it's because I've been giving all the tablets to my tribe members, and there's just pretty much like a few people in my clan who've learned everything. So if you're wondering about that, that's why I haven't learned everything. But yeah, so that's what we've done, and that's what I would highlight, and that's what I think other clans are doing, and that's just basically purely off my opinion. Please don't take that to be like the absolute best. So yeah, that's just what I've seen so far through my experience with playing this game and playing with my clanmates. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. And I'm sorry to make this video longer than it already is, so I'll see you guys in the next one.